Hey, good afternoon. Prophet Frederick Delaney here. Just a quick update. I don't have time to go through thousands of hours of revelation at the moment. In the near future, I'm hoping things will be a little calmer to where we could sit and have a chat about different things that's going on. So we talked about the Nephilim, the fallen angels fell into humanity. They were not human, but God allowed them to become human, to fall into humanity and die, live and die. Psalm 82 talks about if we are judging unjustly and don't help God's children, we will die like one of the princes, which means Lucifer or the Nephilim. Will die, will live and die as man instead of ascend into heaven, just as Jesus did. And Jesus said that some on this planet will not taste death. Some are alive in this time that will not taste death. So sin causes sickness, causes death. Satan's the sin that lies within, causes to lies to go in. And when you entertain those lies, you become a sinner. Now go back to the Nephilim. The Nephilim took all the women they wished. So they were in love with they were lusting over the lust of the flesh, and took all the women they chose to rape and pillage and murder and whatever. But now that they're done away with, the offspring of the Nephilim have the choice to become godlike because they were born into humanity. They were never high like their evil daddies. So we were never high like daddy, like Jesus was the firstborn among the spirit, if you want to call it that, direct from God. So we are low, so we can go high. Or we can go to hell. We can live and die as men, just as animals, mammals. So the offspring of the Nephilim are here, and some of them chose to be evil, and they'll be eradicated very soon. They've already been eradicated for the most part, but as the earth goes through the transition, it can't have any of this garbage. So the low vibrational, evil, death, suicide, all these bad words that are coming into mankind to cause desolations of many generations, which is really the people. And Isaiah says, we'll restore the desolation of many generations, restore cities, but first and foremost, it's the people and the cities that people will live in the future. So you want to be part of the restoration instead of be done away with. So they've given a choice. So the offspring of the Nephilim are here, and some of them chose to be like their daddies and wreak havoc. You heard about all the rape and child sex slavery and the blood drinking and the bloodletting and all that stuff. So all of that has to be eradicated, but it has to also be disclosed. So it's going to ruin a lot of people's theology when they find out, that the Nephilim had offspring and they're evil. They work for devils. They are the devils because they haven't gave themselves over to Jesus. Not like us, but similar, saying that we are the devils if we're not of God's. If we're not for God, we're against God. So in this time with total disclosure, it's going to ruin a lot of people's theology because they don't understand past, present, future, how God reenacted, restored, how Jesus is the way to the truth and the life in God. And Jesus paved the way through the revelation of his living, dying, ascending, transformation, so that we will become like him. So it's going to be a lot to be disclosed very soon because it has to be in your face. And it's going to really shock a lot of people to be shocked awake. Kind of like you got the electrodes and been shocked awake. So, because you coded. So you can't be dying of your fears, dying of fright. You can type in the Bible software, die from fright, die of your fears. So you got to get rid of your fears as we enter the new day, the new age. And we talked about the 21, 3 sevens. We talked about the ending of the seventh. So when Daniel prayed, Archangel Michael fought for 21 days. And this time, because time is not really time, so you go back to the past and you You ask the Lord about this present time. So 21 days past 2003 and a half. The finish of the 21 years of Michael fighting on our behalf, which he's always fought on our behalf. But because many people have humbled themselves and prayed, 2 Chronicles 7:14, Michael has been fighting on our behalf majorly since 2003 and a half. So then we have this 2024 and a half will be that 21-year interval to where the enemy is thrown down by the angels, the archangels, and all the heavenly angels, and in alliance with us, God's people, God's children, be thrown down. So then we'll enter this last 7 years. Now, it's not, the world's not going to be blown up or done away with. It's going to be transformed. So then we have this last 7-year cycle. Like I say, it's after time. It's like no more time clock, no more cruel taskmaster, no more satanic rulership. So it's after time. So the next 7 years, which has already begun, even though we can kind of sort of put a timeline in June-ish of this year. And we're going into 7 years of plenty while the enemy's being done away with. So they're going to go through this famine unless they surrender. So they'll have a little bit of time. A lot of them don't have any more time because they've already cemented the relationship. They've already been taken out. They're already dead because they're dead, totally dead in spirit. There's no spirit within them. God had removed his spirit within them, that little spark, all the way down a little spark, and then poof, no flame at all. So, but then there'll be all these other people, depending on where you're at, that will have a certain amount of time to realize who your daddy is. You know, reread the prodigal son story. Realize who your daddy is. Daddy owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He owns the whole planet. He owns the galaxies. And why work for the devil, which is fleeting, steal, kill, and destroy, when you can be part of God's family, which Jesus paved the way for us to be part of God's family. So that's the whole thing in a nutshell. To be a part of God's family, to be in this family of God, to be part of Jesus, God's Spirit in many, to be part of the body of Christ, and work in heavenly harmony, rest. On the seventh day, God rested, bringing it all into fruition. And then everything was good and very good. Now that resets in this time frame. So 2003 and a half, approximately, a lot of people woke up. It was like the last great awakening in a sense. And you can go 7 years, 7 years, 7 years. You know, 3 sevens, now we're entering the last 7, which 4 times 7 is what? 28. So new beginnings, 5, 7, 8, 4, 2024. You know, we're entering this new phase of the revelation of time. And we won't be having to punch a clock, hurry up, slow down, hurry up, slow down. You know, go and conquer and, you know, try to get your job done for the day. Try, you know, the insanity of, you know, running the hamster wheel of the 9 to 5. So now we will have time for our family and have time for God's family to help them mature. Just as in the past, man lived 800, 900 years old. We got this 1,000-year millennia, spiritual day where Adam and Eve messed up. They messed up in chapter 3 of Genesis and became like Lucifer, like the great Satan and Lucifer. Even though they're like one, they're actually two. So now we're coming into this final timeline to where it's almost like you're going to be on vacation because everything's going to be in such harmony. A lot of people won't know how to enter into that harmony, so we'll have to help teach them OJT, on the job training, in this time. So, you know, like I say, a lot to be talked about, a lot of questions unanswered, a lot of which are prayers. How do we fit in? Well, we're going to be the government, the new government. The word government in the original version was, spiritual version was God over man. The G, God, G is us, God's Spirit over men, and T, sign of the cross, to govern men. in Jesus Christ. So the new, the G and the T, the cross, the new government will be overseers, and we don't lord over anybody. See, the cruel taskmaster lorded over people. He's like the gangster, the mob boss. You better go kill Guido, or or we're going to chop your thumbs off. We're going to take your thumbs off. So all that's going to be done away with to where, and you have to get a glimpse of the future now, like the Lord told me, He showed me the future, so it soon come to pass. And what He said was, it almost like you don't need faith. He didn't say I didn't need faith, but almost like, because it showed me how the harmony and the blessings of the future, so I can preach about it, teach about it, tell the vision of the future to help you pray and believe and to enter in before you get there. You have to have a roadmap to know where you're going. If you're going to Georgia or Michigan or wherever you're supposed to go, you have to have a little bit of clue. Back in Abraham's time, he said, I will go to a land I will show you. So pack up, and he didn't show him. He went through the journey, and he ended up in the land that God showed him a little later. Pack up and go to the land I will show you. So the future has been kind of a mystery, which you are the mystery. You and him and you is the mystery. Jesus said, I'll show you a mystery. Old Testament, I'll show you a mystery, which is you and him walking it out. So we can't tell everything, but we need to get you sure-footed, boots on the ground, strap up your boots, put on your armor, and we're going in. So, hey, I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Pray about it. You're free to ask questions, which are prayers. And I always pray for y'all. Anybody asks for prayer, pray for y'all. But just know that if you're listening to this, more than likely you are leadership. God over men. And it doesn't mean you lord over them. It means you lift them up. Like a daddy would put his little child on his shoulders, lift him up higher so the baby could see high and wide. Be loved to riding on Jesus' shoulders. So we're just helping push you up. Like the rocket fuel. We're not the rocket. We're just the rocket fuel. You are the fireworks. You are the rockets. You are the rockets. You are the rocket launchers, depending on who you are. To be better, to be greater, Jesus said to be serve many, serve all, to be greatest among you. But He showed us how to be servants. 2 Chronicles 7:14. We'll launch you to the throne room, 7:14 Revelation. So I'm going to cut off there. So be blessed. Be encouraged. New day. New day is every day. Before it gets here, it will never get here if you don't believe it now. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. In 2020, the fear factor, so people would get the shot, they would shoot fear into them thinking it would save them. So spiritually speaking, they shot fear, they believed in pharmakia. And that is the true mark of the beast. There's tons of marks of the beast. But the truest mark of the beast is that you totally believe in pharmakia, which ties into pharmacy. And every time that ambulance goes by, look at it, shows a snake on a stick. Now, certain times in this world that you need a doctor, hopefully he's not a witch doctor, hopefully he's a God's doctor, and that'll help you until we reach that time. But you need to shift away from your belief in the snake on the stick, the pharmakia, pharmaceuticals, because it's all going down, and quit shooting poison, fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, whatever it be, whatever kind of crutches, you need to throw away your crutches. If they be alcohol or whatever, you need to throw away your crutches. Because we need to deal straight up in this time. We need to deal with our anxiety. Even though we're not there in the future in the harmonious time yet. But if you never believe it, if you never have faith for things hoped for, things unseen or foreseen before they come to pass, then it's impossible to please God. So, hey, love you and appreciate you. God bless. Amen.